Today, I co-own Pixeloute with Fabian, and today, so Jermaine's coming in, today we're going to be talking to you about one specific thing. So where Gary gave a very top macro level of why we actually value strategy so much, I want to show you how strategy can help you do this. Understand your customer. So for those of you who have businesses in here, who run businesses, who is your customer? Anyone? Don't be shy. I've done this many a time before.
Well, people I target for my services.
Okay.
I understand their needs and I pitch my wares accordingly.
All right. One more person. Who is your customer? Yes.
Companies doing research and development.
Brilliant. I like how it's a bit more focused. And then now that's really why we think strategy is so important. Because the more you understand your customer, the biggest companies and the best companies in the world, fundamentally they're solving a problem. And they're solving a problem, why? Because they understand their customer. And when it comes on to understanding your customer, we are really talking about when you understand them, you can then improve the experience for that customer as well. And today we want to say, for you as a business, especially for those of you who have an idea, is your business serving a product? Is it a product that you actually have? Or are you actually a service-based business? Well, today I'm going to give you a case study with a business we worked with who had not only products, but they also provided services as well. And the main tool we use when it comes on to customer experience, how we improve customer experience, is this tool we use called empathy. And empathy fundamentally is putting yourself in the shoes of your customer. It's saying, I'm solving a problem, yes, as a business. I've defined my vision, I have my focus, I know my goal, I know what I want to achieve. But if I put myself in the shoes of my customer, am I actually providing the best customer experience for them? And this is how we work as Pixeloute and how we break it down. So when we talk about empathy, what we fundamentally mean is, when you put yourself in the shoes of your customer, whether it's B2B or B2C, you are saying, what are they thinking? What are they hearing? What are they doing? What are they feeling? What are they saying? What are they seeing? Because empathy, many of us are using it at different times. When you have a child, you want to understand, why is that child reacting like that? When you have a partner, why do they react like that when I say certain things? It's the same thing in business. Fundamentally, you are solving problems for people. And when you're solving problems for people, when you're dealing with people, you need to apply empathy. And the more empathy you can apply, and this is a tool and it's a skill that can grow and can develop the more you do business. The more you understand empathy and its importance, this actually helps to drive business revenue. And we're going to show you how we did that with this client that we had called HomeServe. Now, HomeServe is one of the biggest insurance companies in the world, especially in, well, sorry, let me say in the UK, not the world, but definitely in the UK. And HomeServe, not only do they sell insurance products, but they also are a service-based business where they have a team of electricians, plumbers, and gas engineers who actually work for their company as well. So they have this challenge where on one arm, they need to sell these products, these insurance products, but on the other arm, they need to also maintain the homes of the people who have these insurance products. Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. So they actually wanted, so this is HomeServe USA's website, and this is a new design. And I was commissioned as a UX designer to work with their team on the brand new design. And the first thing we looked at was who is their potential customer and who they want to reach. And the main problem they had was that for the millennial generation, most of us do not buy insurance. So it was like, well, how do we now sell insurance to a generation of people who don't see insurance as important? Can I ask in this room, who here has insurance? Any type of insurance, life insurance, home insurance? All right, so all of us see the importance, a lot of us in this room see the importance of insurance, but for many of the generation who they were trying to target, it was really hard for them. And what we began to do is, well, as we began to look at the products that they actually supply, their existing generation of customers, there were some potential new customers who they found that there were new products that they could supply for them. And as we used empathy to understand, we realized that empathy allowed us to then use what we call segmentation. It allowed us to look at the actual pool of customers they have and segment them into these three categories. So we broke it down by saying the first category who they really want to get to are the homemakers. Those are the millennial, the younger generation who are just starting their homes and getting into it. The second category was the home improvers. These are those who are maybe a bit more established in their career, they have a bit more money, and now they've got a bit more disposable cash they want to spend on their home. And then the last one were the home enjoyers. You know, they want to enjoy it with their younger siblings and grandchildren. And we were like, well, how do we supply the right products and services for the current customer base while also attracting a new customer base? So what we began to do is we began to, with using empathy, understanding our customers more, we began to set criteria for who or what these people would need. So how affluent are they? How much disposable income do we think people within these segments would have? How are they to risk? Do you think they'll be willing to spend more, willing to spend less? And how much wealth do they have over time? And how much are they, if they was to buy a home, what kind of age of home do we think they would want? And we use this criteria across these 3 segments from a very macro level to really break down who our kind of customers are. And we took the time to go a bit deeper into individual persona cases, but from a very macro level, what we wanted to show you today is why from a very top level, you can do really key work that from a strategic standpoint, when it comes on to developing your customer experience, the more you really understand who you are trying to supply for, the better you will be at providing your products and services for them. And what happened as a result is when we began to look at their old website, the key need was this. In America's broken up into different states, as many of you know, right? And every state had different products because different states had different needs. So some states were more prone to hurricanes, other states were more prone to floods, other states were more prone to like ice cold winters. So different products would be necessary from an insurance standpoint. So some would need roof insurance, where in other places you would need protection against floods. That making sense? So what happened was, we then said, all right, when people get to the website, they need to enter their zip code. And if they enter their zip code, then you'll be able to know what kind of products you can supply for them. But the problem was that in the old website, this actual zipping function was at the bottom of the page. So everything was about how amazing HomeServe was and the different kind of things they do. But then they realized that they had a problem when they checked the analytics, that a lot of people were leaving the page. So from a UX design perspective, as we began to interview customers and test them on our current designs, we realized by moving this function to the top of the page, making the button bigger and changing this one simple color, this from an annual revenue generated over £500,000 for this business in annual turnover. So if you can imagine now what that means for the business in the long term, when they start, so if I go back, what we then began to show them is that through Facebook's analytics platform, which we don't have the time to go into today, we began to show them for the different states how many people you can reach when you segment this demographic via Facebook. And they weren't doing Facebook ads. So we were trying to show them, look, not only can you get to your new demographic that you want to get to, when you segment them, you have a massive reach. But because you're not doing Facebook ads and you've already changed how the homepage of your website looks and how it functions, when you run Facebook ads to that homepage that is currently working so much better, imagine your turnover. Now this is without Facebook ads, they're already generating over $500,000. When you turn on Facebook ads, boy, you can imagine the type of revenue you're talking about after that. So it could really radically change your business. It making sense so far, guys? Brilliant. So that was just with HomeServe. I want to talk to you about something specific different. When it comes on to empathy, I want to talk to you about messaging. So this might look funky, but there were a group of PhD teachers who wanted to run a test. And with this test, they said, if we buy insignificant objects and we made them significant by, so it was $3 they bought this object for. They said, if we made it significant, we have all these friends who are writers. If we took a random story and created an amazing story around this object. So this story was a young lady, she had a grandmother, and her grandmother would use this and she would put it in her home and it would give protection, and she spoke about how old it was and the history behind it. It was just a random story for something else, and they applied it on eBay to this product. Guess how much this product sold for that was bought for $3? $193.50. So what that means from a percentage increase, and we did the math, is that it was over 6,000% increase in profit. Are you with me, everyone? And this is just using empathy as a tool. You are creating a random story around a random product that now becomes significant, right? So what this means is that, for example, I'll show you how practically you can apply this in your business. If you're in the e-commerce space, and we look at Walmart as an example, what Walmart had done is they've taken your standard camera and they've just taken the factory specifications that anybody has access to and they place it on the website. And that's good. Walmart is a very good brand, established brand, so they're going to sell products. That makes sense, right? It's just like Asda, well, Asda is Walmart, isn't it? So it's just like a respected brand like a Tesco or B&H selling product. But there was a company called Crutchfield. And what Crutchfield began to do is that it looks the same, doesn't it? You see a price, you see there's specs underneath, you see the same title, it's the same product, right? But all Crutchfield did is they used specialists and they said, we want to tell you our take about using this. Specialists, people that actually use it. I use, I use cameras a lot. And imagine if I was to write this, I'm going to speak about this different than just having standard specifications, aren't I?
Sure.
What happened is where Walmart had an 89% increase in sales just by adding a bit more around the specifications, Crutchfield on the other hand had a 237% increase in sales. And this is all about using empathy. What are my customers thinking? What are they feeling? What are they saying? Well, if I understand that, then it makes more sense to give the actual review from somebody who uses the product. They're going to speak about it differently, you know? So whether you're a B2B, as we end today, whether you're a B2B customer, client, I know you said that you are a B2B, or whether you're B2C, you provide directly to consumer, here are some tools that you can apply to your website right now that will definitely increase actual engagement and potentially increase the revenue for you. So if you're B2C, ratings on your websites or the products that you supply, reviews around it, and then recommendations to products similar to or that we think people would like if they bought this product. If you're B2B, testimonials, especially using video testimonials, because people will watch video, and if you have video testimonials on there, what trusted brands do you work with? Do you have logos on your site of well-respected companies that people can see are familiar to them, but that actually almost give you a bit more establishment in your niche or in your industry? And even some video tutorials. If you're B2B, you could be selling a consumer-facing software product, SaaS product or something like that. What are there any tutorials that are free to use that even before I buy your product, allow me to see how this is used? Now, when you use empathy, I'm telling you guys, just by taking a bit of time, just sit down with your team, let's look at our customer, break down who they are, and let's think about what they're thinking, feeling, saying, doing, and let's go in a bit more in depth. You never know, you could radically improve your customer experience. And in our next event in a month's time, we're going to go really in depth into customer experience and how that can radically change your business. But just by doing this, you can find some areas of opportunity, like we did with HomeServe, that can radically change your business. And I just want to say thank you.